My dear friends, hello and welcome. In our previous video, we talked of three religions, that is Buddhism, Jainism and Vedanta. We discussed that according to Jainism, every living being has got a perfect soul, but there is no God. Buddhists believe that there is no permanent soul and there is no God. On the other hand, Vedanta believes that entire universe is a live consciousness and we all form part of its manifestation and there is no other God. In today's video, we are going to discuss about some of their practices by which together all these three religions they formed world's oldest spiritual knowledge known as Hinduism. Before we get started, let us find out what is going on inside their temples. Right now on your screens, you are watching visuals from the temple of all the three religions. You would have noticed two important facts. Number one, each of these temples has got a presiding deity, and number two, these devotees are praying in a very similar manner. They are offering prayers, they are chanting mantras and singing hymns. We now examine why do they pray before a deity, although just like an atheist, they do not believe in existence of any God. You'll get answer of this question in their religious scriptures. For the purpose of this video, I have taken one verse from Kathopanishad. This is verse number 10 from chapter 1 part 3. It is displayed on your screen. For our convenience, I'll read out its English translation. It says, beyond the senses is the sense object, beyond these objects is the mind, beyond the mind is the intellect, and beyond the intellect is the Purusha. That means we, the observer. This verse is actually explaining the manner in which we experience this world. As you are aware that we are dependent on our five senses, that is sight, sound, smell, taste and touch, for experiencing anything of this world around us. For example, right now I am holding one object in my hand. The information about this object has been shared by your eyes with your mind, and your mind got information from your intellect that this looks like a mobile phone. This is the manner in which we experience anything in the world. Our intellect is actually a huge database of the impressions created by our experiences. For example, when first time your mother gave you a chocolate and she said, "This is sweet," from that time onwards, you created an impression about the sweet taste in your intellect. Similarly, when first time you touched a surface and someone said this is a rough surface and the other one is a smooth surface, you created in your intellect impression about rough and smooth surface. So this is how we have lot of impressions created in our intellect. Our intellect has, in addition to impressions created by our experiences, also lot of information. For example, you read a book about Niagara Falls, and it's a beautiful book which explains in detail almost every aspect of Niagara Falls. So you will get lot of information about it. Still, you will not have an impression about the beauty of the falls created in your intellect until you visit it for the first time. Our ancient sages were aware that there is a difference between information gathered by our intellect and the impression created by our experiences. They were also aware of the fact that religion's one of the main objective is to provide solace or provide escape from the sufferings of life, and it can be achieved in multiple ways, one of which is experiencing your own devotion and other can be knowledge. Now, how knowledge helps? Because it is believed that we face suffering in this life because we are not aware of our true nature. We don't know the reality or underlying truth of the world, and that causes most of the problems of life. It is mainly because of our ignorance we suffer in life. To come out from those sufferings, if we have knowledge, it helps. At the same time, if we experience our own devotion, that also will help. Our sages were fully aware that our experience creates better impression in our intellect, and which helps in imagination, in creativity, and better understanding of God. But at the same time, they were also aware of the fact that a devotion only may lead to a different kind of consequence, and therefore they had some more suggestions. For that purpose, I will cite verse number 13 and 14 of Ishvasya. It is displayed on your screen. Basically, what they said by these two verses is that following only path of devotion may not be sufficient, and following only path of knowledge may also not be sufficient. It is the combination of two which brings better result. But don't you see that there is a contradiction? One side, they are suggesting us to pray before a deity, and at the same time they are telling that we should be aware of the fact that this is not a God. It is only representation of God. But as human beings, we are well equipped to deal with such kind of contradictions in life. For example, do you remember last time when you visited a sea beach and you watched there a sunset? It was a beautiful scene. Perhaps you told your friends also how nice it is looking. Sun is setting inside the ocean. Although you were fully aware that it is not sun that is setting inside the ocean, it is horizon which is moving upward. So factually you enjoyed the scene of sunset, knowing fully well that it is only your eyes which are presenting something which is not real. On similar line, our sages suggested us to follow path of devotion, having complete knowledge of the fact that in reality there is no such God as is presented by deity. In today's video, that much from my side. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we will discuss about the concept of Maya. Till then, namaskar.